Peace and love, everybody. We're here with the Empress and NTL Bay. Here enjoying some of this beautiful weather. There's a few things that we want to talk about today and some great lectures that she's going to give everybody. You want to say a few words?
Love, family. It's been a while since I was out here in the Imperial Corridor. You can take a look at our area. This is the Imperial Corridor. And we will soon have our community and our people and family close nearby. It's been claimed on the Indigenous Aboriginal title. You can look that term up if you want to find out what Aboriginal title is, and go back as far as Black's Law Book First Edition is where you want to get your truthful, valid definitions as to what something is. A lot of Moors and people send me different definitions, but it's very important that you go to an authentic source that's going to give you the truth in your definitions, because our history, language, dialogue has been misconstrued, and it was done purposely to confuse. So anything after Black's Law Book or Bouvier's Law Book First Edition, I don't touch it, because it has elastic words, elastic meanings to those words. And you can look that up also. Just like the term fact that they use in court. Fact does not mean truth or valid. That's why I told Moors, stop saying that's a fact. You can say it, but just know what it is, and that in court, a fact does not mean that it's true. Okay? So little nuances like that is what I derive the imperial language out of, so that we can get back into our proper status in our works and our doings and in our writings, and begin to rewrite our proper history in terms in which are positive, affirmative words rather than these interchangeable, elastic words. That was a long explanation.
All right. So, what's some of the things that you feel that a lot of new Moors especially should be paying attention to?
New Moors should pay attention to what's real and authentic, and not something that's fluff and buff and a lot of smoke and a lot of talking. Okay? There's a lot of information out here, and soon we're going to be giving classes given by demonstrated Moors. We're about, I'm raising a nation like me. I'm a go-getter, I'm a doer, and I can tell you better than I can show you. And we have some demonstrators like myself on our team that have walked the walk, know what to do, and can talk the talk. So we're going to be instructing Moors on how to conduct their lives. This is a lifestyle. This is not something that is going to fade or pass away in a process and these steps and that steps. Listen to me. Do not mix public and private. If you don't know what public and private is by now, you should not be doing anything. Stand still until you learn, and you should not step out to be challenged or challenge anyone in this corporate status, in their corporate offices, until you've studied and learned at least 5 years. I wasn't challenged, thank the Most High, until I was 5 years in. And each and every time they challenged me, I showed and proved, because I had studied. I had studied knowledge of self. I know who I was on the land. I studied Queen Valera Bay. I studied Taj Tariq Bay. These are the pioneers that I learned from, and then I began to walk in it. You just see them on video teaching it. They do a great, excellent demonstration teaching it. I love them, but I never seen them demonstrate it. Okay, to the point that I have. So we have to make a conscious decision to look at what a person does, what a Moor does, what an individual does, not what they say. That's how I was taught as a youth. That's why I can dispel the fluff and buff just like that. Because it's a lot of Moors who claim to be leaders that have not actually done what they are instructing others to do. You won't get that from the Empress. I made a vow to myself before I go out and present anything to anyone and say it works, because I've been in this a long time. I used to help Amir here in Charlotte. Thousands of Moors came here to get reclaimed from Amir. And I told him years ago, at least 13 years ago, when I was helping him, stop telling people, yeah, I got you, and you don't know if this stuff works. These patriot movements, sovereign citizen movements, is not for us. And that is public demonstration. That is public remedies and processes. Okay? There's a lot of stereotyping being put around using silver. I'm not saying don't use it, but if you use a commercial process, do not mix in your status. You're going to either use one or the other. You cannot do both. That's why a lot of Moors get challenged and get locked up and they don't know why, and they calling them delusional and stuff. You have to keep your argument solid. If you pulling straws from this process, that process, and you trying to say your status, which one are you? This is how they look at you in law, and I had to learn this years ago. They're saying, that's why they challenge you when you get in the courtroom, or they challenge your process, period, because you have too many different irons in the fire, and they know you're pulling for straws. In this day and time, stand on your status and speak the imperial language. Speak affirmatively in your doings and in your writings at all times. I'm going to post a circular that has gone out and that was written about the sovereign citizen patriot movement and their redemption process. There's 11 steps and 12 steps, all a part of this redemption process, which is a sovereign citizen movement. It is not for Moors. Your status alone, and I've proven that time and time again. I have knowledge on how to use commercial remedies. I've gotten myself out of a jail situation with commercial remedies in the past years ago, and I've gotten others out. But the surefire thing that I know that they can't play with is your status and your affirmative language and standing on your square. That will simplify things for you, because y'all jumping around so much that you're getting confused. There's a lot of information out there to take in, and you are getting brain overload, and it will confuse you. So all I'm saying is this: you don't have to follow me, but follow a surefire thing, which is your status, and learn who you are truthfully and in honor. That's why I'm still standing here. You see me all over the news and everything else that they have put out there. But at the end of the day, while they're saying I'm convicted of this, convicted of that, I'm still standing there. So what sense does that make?
Yeah, I'm supposed to be convicted.
I don't have any probation. There's a sister going around promoting that I'm on probation. Who on probation travels abroad? Who on probation can get a visa? Who that is a felon can go abroad? Y'all need to think and use your brain and quit listening to everything somebody say. Watch what they do.
Yep.
They can say a lot about the Empress. I care not what they say about the Empress. As long as I'm doing what the Most High, my spirits and ancestors lead me to do, and I always end up on my feet, I'm doing the right thing. And I am paving a way, as I've always done, for my fellow Moor sisters and brothers that's coming behind me. I've been doing this over a decade, steadily, in action, moving forward. And you see me still moving in action. Now I'm at an international level, okay? And I can easily remove whatever it is that's out there. I know I have ways of doing these things, but I purposely, the Most High pulled me out. They didn't. It's out there for a reason. If anybody knows spiritual principles and how the Most High works, it's supposed to be all eyes on me, because there's some things that's going to happen through me. So I left it there because I know it's nothing. I walk in and out of these courts and these so-called government buildings every day. These people see me every day. Never served a day in nobody's jail. Okay? Maybe 5 days in 2007 because I challenged the judge. And even then, it was not on record. My husband came to look for me. They said, we don't have this person. And he had to raise hell for them to find me. So they do things to make it appear a certain way.
It's all about controlling the narrative.
They wanted to make it appear a certain way. I wasn't even supposed to be there because the judge was asking the Moor that I was there with. The Moor that I was there with was telling me, the judge was asking, did this one show up? Did she come? Did she come? They cleared the whole courtroom like they always do when I show up, and when other Moors show up that's getting ready to do some damage. They don't want nobody to hear. They cleared the whole room, and I left because before I went up there, I went to every clerk. And now this is silly on my part. I should not have listened to this Moor. When I saw that the case was gone, this clerk didn't have it, this clerk didn't have it, this clerk didn't have it, this clerk, they said there's no case here under that. Duh, I should have left. I did leave. I'm halfway down the street, and then the Moor called me. I hear him saying your name. They saying, did you come? I don't want them to put a warrant out for you. You need to come back up here. I was like, bro, that case gone. He was an elder that I respected, but I should have followed my gut. That's the only time I got 5 days when I went back in there, because I shouldn't have been in there. And then they couldn't find the case. My husband couldn't find me because it was just an inside job. And they do that. They have kangaroo court all the time, and it's never put on public record.
Correct.
So I've seen a lot. I try to relay what I have learned and what I perceived and gained in my experiences with Moors. But some of them, they just not up to that level, and they doubt and they guess and they do all this stuff. But you saw me do it. So why are you still challenging me? Why would you say what I'm doing doesn't work? Why would you get reclaimed with me if it didn't work, if you didn't have that confidence in me? Now you want to turn around and say it don't work. Why? Because I'm not dealing with you. Emotion. Everybody's on emotion, and they're really not looking at how they're looking right now as a whole, and to the multitude of the Moors that are looking at them. I'm not looking bad, because I can show and prove. I can show you better than I can tell you. You don't hear me talking about other people. You don't hear me putting out bad information or challenging others on what they're doing or trying to discredit You hear me speaking truth, okay? I do spank certain Moors regarding issues, and I will come out publicly and say it. And I've always came out in love and publicly said, yeah, I'm going to spank you on this topic because here's the paradigm. There's always got to be a balance. There is no one way. If I did it already, there's nothing you can tell me. You can't tell me it's one way to do this. It's more than one way to do anything, first of all.
Yep.
Second of all, I've done it. I'm doing it. I'm being it. I'm living it. It makes no sense. You make yourself look bad, not me. When you challenge or try to discredit me, there's no reason for that. I'm here to help through my experience. All that other stuff, I could care less. I could care less what Moors have to say about me. I could care less what the media has to say about me. At the end of the day, Nentiel Bay is still standing here and still showing and proving every day, all day, until I depart and decide to leave this planet. I know why I'm here, and that's what I'm going to do. Pave the way for you.
Ashe, ashe.
Ashe, ashe.
So one last question before we wrap this up.
Yes.
So as far as because I can definitely empathize with the whole probation thing and stuff like that. And
Empathize, huh?
yeah, I can empathize with that. They cause me a great deal of emotional stress and stuff like that. But the main question that I want to ask, I know with my situation, what they did was switch the court case numbers and everything, and I know,
They play a lot of dirty
right,
tricks.
for a lot of Moors that are unstudied in certain areas, they begin to panic and stuff like that, and that's where all of the running to different people and stuff comes from.
Yep.
So in situations like that, as I've always told people, it's just kind of best to stand on your ground and just remind yourself not to fall for what's actually going on or what may appear to be going on.
Exactly.
But what would you tell other Moors just to furtherly expunge on it?
When you're put under pressure, pressure busts pipes.
Or makes diamonds?
Okay, there you go. You always have to keep your composure. Remain calm and a level head, or you're going to miss your mark every time. People contact me and they say, you were so calm in those videos in court and stuff like that. It comes from experience, true enough. I've been dealing with old white men and, dealing in the world that we live in is ran by currently white men, so-called white men, Caucasian. So in business, I've always been in the courtroom or boardrooms and dealing with real estate with them. So they don't intimidate me. That's the first thing we have to get rid of, is a fear factor. And that is the main thing. That's 50% of the issue, that you can't function because you're a fish out of water, first of all, and then you let the fear consume you. And so it's hard to really stay focused and juggle all these different components at one time. So that's why I said 5 years of study. If you're serious, everybody wants to see the results of a veteran doing these lawful remedies. But nobody wants to put in the time and the effort. And then they say, well, I can't even talk to Empress without paying. I paved the way for that. I'm experienced. I'm a consultant. I'm an expert witness in Thompson and Reuters. Most of y'all don't even know what that is. I'm a published author for a decade. There is certain levels of knowledge and prerequisites that took place before I set out to put a value on my time. Everybody can't do that. I can do that, and I get it because I bring value, and I have the experience, and I can show and prove the experience, and it works. We have so many testimonies. It's like people are silly for even challenging us right now on anything. We have already reached our learning curve because the Moors that's with me, they got my knowledge and intellect, and they got their own, and they're succeeding faster because they're humble enough to take heed to what I'm telling them. They don't have ego. They don't feel like I'm being a dictator. They don't feel like, they're not jealous of who I am and who I've become. They are organically taking in my experiences to become greater than I was. So, as a leader and a master teacher, that's what I want. I want them to come up with their own, take the value that I bring and that I'm giving you, and you run with it as far as you can go. Now, I've had a mentor in the past, when I first came into the knowledge of being a Moor, who became jealous of me, tried to hold me back. All of these things come when they see a light in you. Same thing happening right now with Moors that want to challenge everything I'm doing. Silly. It's like, I just laugh at them because I'm not the one looking bad. They are. I'm steadily showing and proving, and the best way I know to shut up a naysayer and a hater, I'm just going to keep bossing up and showing and proving. While they talking and gossiping and running their mouth, they getting way left behind because I'm demonstrating in love and exuding and walking in my power. You either with me or you against me.
Oh shit! I think a lot of problem is a lot of people ain't even with themselves at the moment. A lot of people want to, jump back and forth and try to just find the best thing that they can do, such a silver bullet, so to speak.
Chasing their tails is not going to get them the answer, especially not in a timely fashion. They want a decade of knowledge in 1 hour or in one teaching. That's what everybody wants. And so they get mad, some of them. Oh, she has all the knowledge and she don't want to share it. You see what happened when they got knowledge of those liens. They didn't know what they were doing. A lot of that information got into the wrong hands. They want to jump out there and do stuff, and now they're injured and they're injuring others. I tried to stop it. They didn't want to listen to me. So now because it's cursed, you have something that you're not supposed to have. You're not ready for it, and the creator of it asked you to stop. So how do you think that's going to pan out?
Not good.
It's not going to pan out. It's not rocket science, but they think they can get away with universal principles. They think they can beat universal principles.
Nobody's higher than the zodiac.
So there it is.
Come on, let me see this shit. Yeah, nobody's higher than the zodiac. So, is there anything else that you may want to speak on?
No, we'll save some for tomorrow. Like I said, there's some international demands and claims that the Most High and the ancestors have ushered through me that I've sent out to the International Court of Justice and the International Criminal Court, also the International Trade Court. That's the level that I'm on now. Getting our claims on record internationally. So now the UN knows, other world leaders know, it's on the public record. The proclamation, declaration was filed at the Library of Congress for the world to see in 2016. But the actual demands for the claims are now in. So we're beginning to see a lot of things happen at the you got as corporate state, where they have to show their subordinates to the Aborigine landowners who have now taken their proper place back on the land, because all they've ever been doing is walking in our titles and nobility. Now that we've claimed them back, we have to administrate. So the Empress's six royal courts have been resurrected and reinstituted that were once in place. So in Black's Law Book, 1st and 2nd edition, it tells you who a Moor is. You know, we are the original jurisdiction who summons the courts. That's who we are. When you gain more knowledge, you do better. So I know who we are and what we're supposed to be doing, and I know what I'm supposed to be doing. So that's why I set up the courts right now with the administrative, and we are administrating our vast estate, starting with the claims in Imperial City that I proclaim. We're soon going to be building community, gardening, and securing our land. So that's where I'm at, and that's where I'm going to be. Stay away from the negativity. The Empress can rap too, you see.
Bars.
I posted something the other day, and it was like, bars.
Yeah, I seen that.
I said, oh, let the haters hate and the ballers ball. I continue to throw my ancestors' dirt and watch the system fall. That's all I care about. All that other stuff, they just talking and blowing smoke. Because if you ain't done what I've done and been where I've been and able to walk it and demonstrate it and experience it, you just a hater and a regurgitator. That's how I look at it.
You know, they always say knowledge is power, but you know, once you have knowledge, it's not having it that gives you the power, it's the application of it.
Hello. Apply yourself. And most of these Moors that's not receiving any type of benefits from the knowledge they have, because you can do some damage with the knowledge I have. I'm here to tell you. Them 2 pages that's in the reclamation, I done shut the state down since I wrote it in 2008. Just 2 pages. Now it's 9 pages. You mean to tell me you can't work with that? The Moors, they're saying that. They emotional because I
and unstudied.
That's one thing. The ones that's going around causing this rhetoric had to cut them off. Their energy wasn't in alignment. I'm not saying they bad people, bad Moors. I don't call names, but if you're not in alignment and I vibrate so high, and my knowing is at a level that most people cannot perceive or receive. So I have to stay to myself most of the time. There's nothing against anyone, but I know how to keep my mind clear. And I can't do that dealing with Moors that not up to the level of my knowing. That's all it's about. So you got a lot of these Moors that got a lot to say about the Empress, but I've done nothing to them but show them love and put down the knowledge for them. And then extracting myself from their situation. That's the only crime I committed. So now they got all this lip service.
Well, I mean, that's your job, is to give them the tools to save themselves.
Yeah, I'm not holding hands. I don't do that. Because I'm on to the next thing. I'm going to give you what you need, and I got to go. And, you know, to the point where my 2 children that are now grown, I hate I did that. Because I'm like, where are you? Come, you know. They doing their thing. Because that's how I raised them. They don't ask me for nothing. My daughter takes me out every week. I'm very proud of my children. They go-getters. Because I push them to be independent. I didn't be a crutch for them. And that's the thing. You can love your children just like I love my spiritual children. Because I've been raised up at a level of spirituality. It starts with spirit first. I've been raised up at a level of spirituality, so I can see a lot of things that a lot of younger Moors cannot see. So I treat them the same way as I've treated my own children. I'm gonna give you what you need. If you can't read this and take the time to study this, you want to call me every other day, and so I can hold your hand and pacify you and be your shrink. I can't. I'm not gonna let you drain my energy. You know, I'm gonna keep it positive. I'm gonna keep it love, but I'm gonna be stern and strict. You're not a nice person. Why? Because I don't baby you. I've never done anything or said anything harsh. But if I call you out and you don't like it, that makes me a bad person? No, I'm trying to correct you so you can better your life and raise your child up right. But if a person can't receive nothing, then, you know, call me a bad person.
We all done been there.
Call me what you want.
We've all been there.
I'm going to tell you the truth, and I expect you to tell me the truth. That's why I surround myself around real people. You're only as good as the 5 closest people around you. So if I don't want to be at your level, I'm going to extract you from being one of them 5 people.
Right.
If you have thorns in your side that I don't want to have in my side, because you begin to pick up people's habits when you're around them, when you talk to them. This is spiritual principles. Don't get mad at me, because I know what to do and I know who I am. That is what it is. Okay? So folks that go around saying this doesn't work and that doesn't work, watch them.
How about they produce something that works?
Right. That's more importantly, right?
What?
Is that a bug? But if you watch these people that say things like this, nothing that they do will work, because they never apply it. And if they apply it, they never apply it properly, because they haven't spent enough time long enough to execute, first of all, to learn that method, execute it, and then, you know, implement it in their life. They don't do that. They just keep chasing their tail around like this, and they want to make me a part of it, calling me, asking me, questioning me over and over again. I gave it to you. Now, I didn't call you incompetent. You know you're incompetent.
Pretty much.
I don't have to call names. I don't have to do any of that, and I have never done any of that. But people tell on themselves, you know. So, you know, I'm still the same person. I never changed. I deal with people more in love, but I'm a person that will give tough love. If I see you a bullshitter, you're going to get tough love from me all day. And I'm going to call you out on it. Some people don't like the truth, you know?
The truth is the only thing that gets shit straight. Well, it is what it is. So, this was a very insightful conversation, and we will be doing this a lot more often, giving y'all some great imperial lectures and also a lot of great things to stand on as far as information and self-guidance strength. You know, one more glance over here at the beautiful scenery.